Hey everyone, it's Rebecca Undum, your Groove Finder, and today is a new day in the Groove Seekers community. It's Q&A Wednesday. I just thought it might be kind of fun to field some questions from people and answer them either in a video or possibly a blog post. I don't know, we'll have to see. But I actually got a question from my good friend Virginia, hi Virginia, this weekend. And I really believe that this is something that a lot of people can relate to. So Virginia's question, I'm paraphrasing here, but she basically is asking how to combat loneliness in a new position. So she's working for a company. She left a previous role where she had lots and lots of employee or colleagues, a lot of people to interact with. And now she's in a new place where she doesn't have as many. So it's a quieter atmosphere. She lives in a big community. So she also isn't battling kind of the small town things. And so I thought this was a great question because even though I'm in a rural community, I definitely have the loneliness thing going on. And there's a few ideas that I have. And I think once I post this inside of the group, I hope other people will share ideas as well. Okay, so as far as loneliness, first of all, I'll just give a little bit of what I've experienced with loneliness. So you know that I have a little perspective on it. I was working for full-time for a company, and I had a team that I managed. And so even when I wasn't on site with them because I traveled, I was 85 miles from my office, and so I only went there a couple times a week. Even when I was home, working at home, I was video conferencing with them all throughout the day. Nonstop. So I never felt lonely. I probably could have used some downtime in that job. And then you fast forward to now where I don't have anybody. As far as day-to-day interaction, day-to-day work, I don't have an assistant. I run my business by myself. My network marketing business, I've got some team members and there are people, but it's not the same as having coworkers around me. So here is a few ideas that I have. And I'm not going to lie, this isn't easy stuff, ladies. A lot of this is just mental choices that we have to make. So the first one is to remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing. So in the case of Virginia, she picked this job for specific reasons, right? And she shared with me, and I hope I can share this, I hope she's okay with this, but she shared that she was actually offered her old job back and almost left went back to it because she missed the people. But then she thought, why would I do that? I made this choice. It was really to give her more flexibility and time with her kids and her husband. And so I think sometimes it's just a matter of stepping back and saying, because loneliness is a feeling, it's not a fact. You're not actually all alone. It just feels like it, which is painful. So I think it's important to objectively, and I don't do this very well because I'm a big feeler, but to take a step back and just say, why did I do this? What's the reason that I'm in this situation? And is that still worth it? Because I think 9 times out of 10, you're going to find that it is. For me, of course it's lonely. I don't know very many people that chose to, let's say, write a book, right? And that's not like, pat me on the back, I'm so awesome, but it's a lonely, lonely process. All the work just happens, just me and my computer. And then, so I'm going to give you an analogy that I have for this. It feels like running a marathon, only there's nobody on the course cheering you on. And it's just every few, miles, there's somebody at a water station. And that might be like my coach that I hired to help me or the editor that I'm working with. And you see them and you're not only just so happy to see a person, but they're giving you literal sustenance, water, right? You get your hit of water and you feel like you can keep going. That's what it has felt like for me. So I get it, but I think it's to just remember, there's a goal in mind. There's a reason I'm doing this, and to never let that get confused in your mind when you start to have those feelings of loneliness. The second thing I would suggest, and this is something that I think is a great just tip for living. When somebody from your past, your coworkers that you used to love, or anybody really, family member, loved one, when they cross your mind, connect. Just take a quick minute, say, hey, I was thinking about you, miss you, send them a text. That little bit of extra connection will make a really big difference in just kind of combating those feelings of loneliness. And think of how much more connection all of us would have if we would be more intentional about reaching out when people just flip through our minds. Right before I sent this or started recording this, I sent an email to one of my old coworkers that I haven't talked to forever. She crossed my mind, and I thought, why not? Why not just do that? So reach out, text them, email them, give them a phone call. And then the last idea I have really is about finding an online community of people that you can connect with, because I think online communities allow you to really hone in. And yeah, I mean, I have one. It's the Groove Seekers community. You guys are all in it. That's why you're looking at this. But if the Groove Seekers aren't your people, don't join us. Join someone else. But there's tons of options out there. And there's almost, with the interconnectedness of our lives now, there's almost no reason to ever actually be alone. Okay, so with this whole concept of loneliness, the biggest thing I want to make sure. So again, your options are to remind yourself why you're doing what you're doing in the first place, connect with the loved ones that do cross your mind, and find a group online that you can connect with, because at least those little Facebook bumps will make you feel good and you'll feel like you're not so alone. The most important thing is to recognize that loneliness is a feeling and not a fact. And the fact that you feel lonely doesn't mean there's something wrong or defective with you. You're not a loser, and you're not unlikable, and you're not unlovable. You're just doing something different or unconventional, and that can be a lonely road. Okay, but it doesn't have to be. Find your people. If you think you'd like to connect with us, come and join us in the Groove Seekers, okay? So in the comments, please share what's working for you if you feel like you have these moments of loneliness, because I think it's helpful. Let's share our best ideas, okay? Groove on, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.